Bags and Boards podcast, number 73. We back. A week filled with expensive paper, funny books, reading. How you guys feeling? I got the Golden Age Guru and Fire Guy Ryan in da casa.
3 weeks in a row, sorta.
3 shows in a row.
Yeah.
It's a week in between.
That's a big deal for us.
We're hitting deadlines, comic fam. I'll remind you, the podcast is available on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes. And we got a packed show for you today. First off, Peeps be taking a big old S on the MCU. We're going to talk about it. We have more conversations to be had about the recent collection find that we had last year. And I have a stack of very expensive papers sitting next to us. We're going to get into the documentary that has aired that Jeff was a part of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not officially out. They're filming it. Should come out, they said, early or mid 2024, but we're going to get into it.
I want to remind the community to like and subscribe the video. We're back. Hidden deadlines. Very proud of that. But we also do giveaways on our show. Years ago, when we did giveaways, we'd require the community to comment in the comment section, and we would pick someone at random with like a random number generator. Well, those days are long gone. You want to fill them in on what happened?
Yeah, we'd get people in there who would say, hey, it's me, Comic Tom. And it wasn't Comic Tom. They were lying and using their lying abilities to just swindle some of our customers, our clients, our viewers out of cash. It was not a good operation.
Hold up. So are you telling me there's liars on the internet?
Not here, though.
It's crazy.
We've never lied.
Well, the way that we have
Not once.
overcome this to make sure that our giveaways are still happening with the same gusto that we've always brought to the table, all you have to do is join the newsletter via comictom101.com. I won't spam you. It's the best way to keep up with all things that we're doing, as well as like unique drops that are exclusive to the website, variants, etc. But also, as long as you're signed up, you will be entered in to win the monthly giveaways that we're doing, and you can win this ASM 41, first appearance of
The Rhino.
this right here is a John Romita cover, Stan Lee story, and a first printing 5.0. All you have to do is hit the website, link in the description. And Jeff, you hit me with this video that started circulating just over this last week. Michelle Rodriguez.
And where can you go? How many Marvel movies can you make?
I know.
Like, come on, guys. At some point, we got to get innovative with this.
Who you'll know from the recent like D&D movie that was quite successful, like the 10th best grossing film of the year so far, which I was a little surprised to hear. You also know her from Lost and Fast and the Furious. What did she say?
This is a little silly. You got to be kidding me right now. You're on a Fast and Furious. They're on 10 or 11, and it's like a 2-parter still. And you're launching cars into space with rockets. And so if there's going to be any type of boring or repetition or nonsense, and you're going to call it out as being redundant or ridiculous like the Marvel, come on, man. You're in a freaking racing movie on the like 11th episode or film. That's 22 years now. 22 years of Fast and Furious franchise. Crazy.
I've just recently given that series a chance, too. I went through last year and kind of did a binge of all of the Fast and Furious movies just because I wanted to see what was going on. They're not that bad. I don't hate them.
No,
Which is
people
weird.
like them.
I think they're fun. They have their place. Just, you can't come from those movies and critique the Marvel movies for being too samey or needing to take risks because, I don't know, there's some cringe-worthy moments in the Fast and the Furious movies, too.
It's like a guilty pleasure. You're enjoying it. You know, we're not saying it's top-notch film, all right? Just like MCU isn't top-notch film, but it's still entertaining for groups of people.
Well, we have Comic Butch gracing us with his presence today on the show. Hit the like button for this comic gato. Her word was they need to be innovative. I think that was the quote. So it's what you're saying. It's become derivative. There's too much. But I do find it intriguing. I didn't put that like 2 and 2 together that she's coming hot off the heels of the Fast and the Furious franchise. I wonder what the community thinks about that. But separately, this is a conversation that we brought to the mic from the community's angle because, hey, if comics aren't performing as well, that's typically an indicator that at least the core fan base may not be as interested in what's happening on the screen. But we've also heard from like major directors, A-listers who've complained about Marvel movies, some suggesting that they're not even real like, you know, works of art as many people would describe them as.
Whatever. Everyone's got their opinion.
But I think it's all about this lack of general interest because nothing is quite as special as it's been as far as when you compare it to prior phases.
I mean, I think people still complain. Even in the prior phases, they were just getting burnt out about repetition of superheroes for as many years as they did. Again, movies are a very intimate and individual thing for everybody. So, like, I like Dungeons & Dragons. Not everyone's going to like Dungeons & Dragons. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3, okay, in the theater. You might watch it at home and not like it as much, but I saw it in the theater. I mean, like, everyone, like I said, is going to have an opinion. I 100% recommend anybody to watch it. Don't listen to critics about any movie because I always find myself liking movies more that I find other critics didn't. So I don't hold those books at a high standard, but that's not what I'm doing to go see a movie. When I go see a movie, I want to be entertained. So am I going to be entertained? Yes, I will be entertained. So that's my goal when I go see a movie. I'm not looking for a life-changing event or for me to shed tears or whatever some of these critics expect from this movie or any movie. Okay, I just want to enjoy my time and connect in some fashion with something that entertains me.
I kind of am looking for a life-changing event. I'll compare it to Beau is Afraid, Ari Aster. Tom and I have recently fallen in love with director Ari Aster and his films. I have not gotten the chance to see one of his movies in the theater before up until now. His current movie, Beau is Afraid, is in theaters right now, and I think that movie could benefit more from somebody like me making the trip out to the theater to go support a movie like that, which is not going to do anywhere near as high numbers as something like Ant-Man or Guardians of the Galaxy, which I also know will be on Disney Plus within a month or two anyway. So it's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll watch it on my own time, even though this is our job and I really should watch it much, much sooner.
So you're saying this is such a life-changing movie, but you won't even change your day to go see it in the theater?
Oh, yeah. I still haven't seen Beau is Afraid, and I really want to.
Okay, so then that's not life-changing.
No.
If you think something's life-changing, you go and make that change. You go do that. Otherwise, it's not really. You're saying that it is, but you're not giving the actions for that. So for me, if you're not going to, actions speak louder than words. So it's cool to say that, but you got to get off your butt and go see it and then tell me, did that change your life, Ryan?
Well, there's also this like aspect of, I don't want to call it laziness, but like maybe it being a little lackadaisical. Going to a film at a theater isn't as exciting to me as it once was, especially when we just got through pandemic and saw so many movies at home. I enjoyed a lot of brand new movies on my big screen in my living room. And the last time I went and saw a horror movie, it was, I want to say it was Scream. There were children in the audience. I was listening to little Timmy going, Mom, is that person going to be okay? You know, they just got gutted with a knife. Like, it's just not as like enjoyable of an experience on average. And that could just be my area or, you know, the town that I live in. Who knows? But I just don't have the same type of fun that I used to have when I was younger, maybe because I want to have more of a controlled space.
And this is our job now. This is my job now. So if I'm going to go take time out to watch something, I can either go to a movie theater and sit in the dark and put my 100% focus on a movie, or I can binge watch Star Wars Rebels, which I really need to do, and I am currently halfway through right now, while getting work done on other parts of my job that I have to do also. So it's a give and a take for me.
Man, it's all theater for me. The only way I can focus on a show by itself right now in a movie is in a movie theater room. My phone has to be off. I have to be in the dark, and I need to watch it. If I'm at home, I'm hearing what's going on, but I don't feel like I'm giving that full attention. I know I'm not giving that full attention. Who am I kidding? I have my phone near me. I'm generally going to be listening. I'm going to be doing other things that I probably shouldn't be doing, and I'm not giving it the full attention it deserves because someone put a lot of effort into this film, from the music to the cinematography to the editing to all of it. Yet I'm not going to give it 100% attention unless I'm in that theater.
You're talking about a life-changing experience in that way, then. It seems like we're coming full circle, and if it's not going to be a life-changing experience, I don't feel like I have to give it my full attention, and I can get things done while I'm watching the movie and digesting Star Wars Rebels at the same time.
Agree to disagree.
I'll also input that it's interesting to consider the success of the marketing and how much that sways someone to even see a movie. I think that's actually what Ant-Man experienced. They did such a poor job, which included showing a MODOK that was underwhelming and a movie that largely looked like it was a sequel to Spy Kids. Hit the like, slap the subscribe. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you vibing with what Michelle Rodriguez said? And let's move on to the collection find that we keep being asked about. Isn't it interesting that we've gotten this collection almost a year ago, and it's just taken that long to go through it? We haven't brought it to the mic a whole lot because there's been a little bit of a hiatus that has ended officially with the podcast now that CRASHDOWN is available for ordering right now. Hit up your LCS and order CRASHDOWN. Get yourself a few covers and support our first published work in the comic book industry. But Jeff, don't you get hit with questions and comments about this collection find we had, the 350,000 plus books, all the damn time?
I do, and it's a slow process. I mean, obviously it's a lot of books, but because we're trying to document it as much as possible, it makes the entire process probably 10 times slower on already a slow process. So, but I did go and pull out some of the main Silver Age key books and some Bronze Age just to kind of look at some eye candy. And we're going to have Ryan take a look at some of this, right? And flip through, because Ryan's our designated flipper.
They love pushing all this stuff on me to make me stressed out.
Comic toucher. You're a designated comic toucher?
Yeah. Well, he hasn't experienced seeing these. And actually, outside of just Jeff and myself, I don't think anybody really knows all the things that we've gotten. So I told you, Jeff, to just come and bring a lot of number ones and first appearances, and we'll pick and choose what we're going to bring to the mic over time. And this is a good practice for Fire Guy Ryan, because you've probably never seen all these books, let alone in person, let alone all at one single time. So we're going to surprise you, and I would like you to read like what the books are. And if you know anything about their significance.
Like a quiz. You're going to quiz me also
well,
on this.
Yeah, I want to hear your first, response to what you're holding. Talk about the condition. Talk about what the book is. And then, obviously, Jeff and I are here to help out. And I thought it'd be fitting for you to go through certain books first, and we'll make it easy on you. Here's a stack of some Green Lanterns.
Well, spoilers. Okay.
What do you think?
Ooh.
All right, so what are you holding? What are you looking at?
Oh, damn. Is this not Green Lantern #1?
It is Green Lantern #1.
Holy smokes.
So who do we have on this cover?
This is Hal Jordan and the Menace of the Giant Puppet.
So this is officially when like the yellow color started to become a problem in Green Lantern, correct?
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't Hal Jordan the first one?
Oh, to have issues with the yellow?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Mr. Green Lantern guy.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Everything. So my era of Green Lantern is Jeff Johns and on. That's the stuff I've read the most of. And Jeff Johns came on board and was like, that whole yellow thing, that's dumb. We're gonna retcon that and explain why that's dumb and that's no longer an issue in Green Lantern. It hasn't been for about 20 years.
All right, well, we got Green Lantern #1, a classic book, and Silver Age 10 Center. And what are you holding right now?
Can I get this one? This is Green Lantern #7. I believe this is the first appearance of Sinestro.
That's right,
my favorite
brother.
character in all of comic books.
This is the reason why I know he knows this one, because we went hunting and we saw a bunch of covers, right? And we saw first Sinestro, and we also saw second and third, and we were getting confused, like which one was the first one? And the reason why you can always remember this cover, because I'm always about like trying to spot something. Like if you're trying to remember someone's name, what's a characteristic of the person that triggers that memory? Well, for this cover, you have Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, using his power ring to like see through somebody. It happens to be a female's clothing. And further in, you're seeing her organs on this cover, but it's a strange cover regardless.
So is it sinister almost? So Sinestro?
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, I'm jealous. That's all. This is probably I'm trying to get every single issue of Green Lantern that's ever been printed and published, and all of its different, spin-offs and series and everything. And this one is probably never going to come to me because, God.
Not with that attitude. Jesus.
It's also, it's going to cost a lot of money.
As he's holding one because it just happened to be found in a collection. Ryan, you have to believe in yourself. What's the next one?
That's fine. I got bills. I can live without it. Ooh. Okay, the colors on this one are really nice. This is very clean. This is Green Lantern #40. I believe this is the first time Alan Scott and Hal Jordan meet up. Am I wrong? Or fight?
I don't think you're wrong, but first time, we'll have to double check that. That's a...
What is it, Green Lantern?
40.
Well, this is a great time to plug Key Collector Comics, the best comic app in existence. If you're like us, there's a lot of comic books we talk about, and we always want to bring the most accuracy. So what I'm going to do is pull up the app I use more than Gmail, more I use than Google. I'm going to type in Green Lantern in the search function, go to the 1960s, which is exactly the era I'm looking for this one. And I'm just going to save some time and type in which number?
40.
40, and watch what gets pulled up. We have Green Lantern #40.
First appearance of Krona. Okay, we have talked about this on the Hot 10 recently. That's why.
And it's also the origins of the Guardians of the Universe and the Infinite Earth concept.
This is a pretty big deal then. And yeah, this is a very nice condition too.
Use code TOM101 on Key Collector. You support the show and get access to a free 2-week subscription available for both Androids and iPhones. This next one is one of my favorites, though.
Oh, damn. There's another one that I'm never going to get. Okay, I hate you guys. This one is super green.
Super green.
Green Lantern number 59, the first appearance of maybe my least favorite Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. That's not true. I might like Kyle Rayner a little less. I don't know. They're both kind of lame.
All right, this next one's a very important book, though. I'm curious to know if you know the significance.
This is Green Lantern number 76. I believe this is the first one with Green Arrow joining the team. And Neil Adams and all that.
Look at that.
Denny O'Neil. I've got the absolute version of this. I don't need this one. That's what I tell myself. I've got it in a very, very nice deluxe oversized hardcover, so I'm okay. I don't need any of these.
And for many, this was one of the books that kicked off the Bronze Age.
Yeah, it was this moment because Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, they hit the pages and brought a bit more significance to the narrative, more human-based problems being discussed in comics from drug use, race, as well as environmental pollution, etc. And that tonal change started with this issue and marked the beginning to many as the start of the Bronze Age.
Legendary run on comic.
All right, so now that we bored everyone with all this Green Lantern history and what Ryan likes, I'm going to start hitting you with some books. And I want to, these are books, Ryan, that you should know out the gate, no excuse.
Did I do good on these?
You did that. I think you did
except for the one we had to look up on Key Collector.
I'll give you the claps, Ryan.
Okay.
I'll give Ryan the claps.
Give me the clap, everyone.
Obviously, in the comment section, let Ryan know how he did with the Green Lantern because now
I'm sure now I won't do good.
These are. But here's the things. Here's the thing. No excuses on these books.
Okay.
You got homework to do if you don't know these books.
So you mean they're going to be? I should. Oh man, this is stressing me out in advance.
Jeff, let's make this go quick though, because if he doesn't get it, by the time you realize he doesn't get it, I want you to tell him what it is because he cannot sit here and guess.
Okay.
Showcase number.
Where's showcase number 4? This is the first Barry Allen?
There we go.
Okay.
This right here is, to many, the start of the
Silver Age.
Silver Age of comic books. Major book. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Keep it going, baby, because what is this?
This is Amazing Spider-Man number 1. It's a little sun-faded, however. This is not the first appearance of Spider-Man, but it's freaking awesome.
First appearance of the Chameleon. Come on.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't care.
Don't forget about the Chameleon. He's related to
He
characters
was-
that are important in comic books.
Yeah, exactly.
We also have the FF. So this is the first Spidey FF crossover, but it's also the first in his own series' second appearance. Getting close. Actually, I'm going to make it really easy for you because these next ones are just givens because Spider-Man knew what they were doing. They introduced villains on the cover.
Oh.
So I'm giving you a little bit of a hint here.
Well, thank you.
So hit him with it.
Okay, I have Spider-Man number 4. This is clearly the first Sandman.
There you go. Well done.
All right, oh, that's easy. Okay, Spider-Man number 6, the first Lizard, with some unfortunate writing on the cover, it looks like.
What does it say?
K5?
K5, baby.
Is that?
I don't know what that means. He's like, what does that mean? What's the next one?
This is, it's hard to find the numbers. The Amazing Spider-Man number 13, with all the other stuff going on the cover, the issued number is a little, lost. That's the first Mysterio, I would assume, based on the crazy cover. Oh, damn. Why hasn't this been on the list recently?
It should be.
Amazing Spider-Man number 15, the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter. We've been talking about the first appearance of the Rhino all the time because of the upcoming movie, but I haven't seen that book yet.
That's a good point.
All right, I have some more Spidey to dish with you. Take a look at
Those
that
were
one.
easy. What the hell?
I know. I'm going to crank it up a little bit in a second.
Okay.
Damn it.
Amazing Spider-Man 101, the first appearance of Morbius.
Okay.
Doing
Pretty cool.
a nice bitch slap.
Jared Leto.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Comic.
But he's definitely backhanding Spider-Man right here.
Do you think Jared Leto owns a 9.8 of this?
I don't know.
Do you think he owns the second print at a 9.8?
If he does, I'm sure
Do you think he likes the second print better? Things I think about.
I think he probably just buried it in the backyard and lit it on fire and did a spell or something.
What are these, Ryan?
Oh, geez.
These are tougher, but you should know these. You already referenced it a little bit.
This is actually, they homaged this on the upcoming cover to Amazing Spider-Man 26. This is Amazing Spider-Man 121.
Oh, it kind of hurts to hear that, but okay.
Did. Oh, wow.
So what is this?
This is the death of Gwen Stacy.
Yes, Ryan,
Okay.
you're on fire, man.
I know stuff, guys.
Fuego, bro.
All right, what's this next one?
Jeez. The following issue. Does Norman Osborn die in this issue?
Oh, does he or doesn't he?
I read this once. I didn't like it that much. It's too old for me.
Well, I need you to
I just
make a
lost
decision.
any credit I just got now.
Does he or does
this
he
is the
not?
death of the Green Goblin.
Thank you,
There you
Ryan.
go.
Dude, you're doing
Because they did
pretty
this in the
well.
first movie when he gets impaled on his own glider. This is
Exactly.
Here we go.
classic comic stuff.
What is this one?
Oh, damn. Okay. FF 52. Fantastic Four 52. First Black Panther.
There we go.
Okay.
That's another easy one. Here,
That whole
let's-
era, they threw a lot at you right around issue 50, and I get kind of mixed up.
Okay, this is going to be a funny one. I'm excited about this one.
Okay.
What is this comic? And I want to hear exactly the key significance. Don't be hemming and hawing. I want to know, what is it? Cameo, first app, second app. Get
Do you
descriptive.
want me to tell you before you flip it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Do
Boom.
that. Oh, jeez. It's the first cover appearance of Wolverine. Second
And-
appearance, and maybe the first appearance of the Wendigo.
Yeah, dude. That was it. I love it.
Okay.
That was good, Ryan.
Second appearance, you guys.
He didn't even skip a beat. You can
No.
think this. He sounds like he's on a comic book podcast. Okay.
Listen, this is the first appearance, and I'll tell you why. Really quick. And I'll tell you
Not having this
specifically why.
debate.
Real quick, because I never hear anyone say this. If you look into 180, his claws don't have the 3 rings, so he was still in development. He didn't even finish the character fully. So I'm going to then call this the first appearance because his claws are completely done. They didn't have the 3 rings. I'm going to say that is why 180 is just the cameo.
Wow. You heard it
He
here.
shows up on the last page, says, "I'm Wolverine."
It's like, that's all it is. for
That's
me,
all
too.
I need to hear.
Oh my
It's a better
gosh.
cover
Okay.
on this one, but that's it.
Okay, this is a little bit tougher. What is this?
This, I'm sure, is the first. I don't know. Let's look at it. Oh, geez. Okay. Giant-sized X-Men #1. I don't think I've ever held one of these before, especially not one that looks like this. Holy moly.
Okay, there's a handful of new first
There
appearances
is.
on this. So what is it?
Most of these guys on the cover. This is the first Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Thunderbird, right, is his name. There's the Sunfire is in here. Is the first Banshee in here, or does he show up? And I think he's a villain earlier, because this is the first time he's on the team, I think. And everybody else.
And also the second full appearance of Wolverine.
He joins the team and all that, yeah.
Well done. Okay, so here's a couple fun ones.
Is this
here.
the first Krakoa as well?
Ooh, it is.
Jonathan Hickman status?
Yes, first Krakoa is in this issue, isn't it? Almost positive. We'll check that. We'll check that.
If only
one.
there was some sort of website
Grill
we
us.
could use.
Yeah, grill us in the chat. So I just handed him 2 books.
2 books that are worth more money than I have probably ever made in my
For
life.
those of you who are just popping in right now, we are going through some of the best first appearances.
It's
from the
pre-recorded.
recent
Who's going to pop in
collection.
and jump into like 30 minutes into the
Maybe
video?
someone who's watching a clip and they skipped the beginning
Someone who
because
just
they didn't like
skips.
Green Lantern, damn
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. Fantastic Four 48. What is this? The first Galactus and Silver Surfer?
it. I'll give you a 1.5.
You can give me an X. I could miss one. I haven't missed
Well,
one yet, I don't think.
No, I would say it is almost there because Galactus is considered a cameo in this.
Okay.
And what's the next one?
This is first Silver Surfer. Almost dropped that. This is the first Silver Surfer. Issue 49. And probably first full Galactus based on the pausing you guys are giving me.
Oh, interesting. Wait, so you're changing your answer from
I don't know.
48 to 50?
I read those all in one go. 49,
Okay,
48,
break
49,
it down,
50.
Guru. We found an area of weakness in Ryan's reading.
And this is the stuff I've actually read, too. which
Listen,
is
if we're going to go
disappointing.
with Wolverine 180 being a cameo or being a first appearance, and this is the first appearance of Galactus, do you remember what he looked like on the last page in this Christmas
No.
suit?
Not at all.
Yeah, he looks like Santa.
He looks like Santa.
Okay.
He has like a green Galactus.
Well, Santa is very scary if you think about it.
First full Galactus, Silver Surfer, on first cover appearance, Silver Surfer. Good job, dude. You're freaking crushing it, man. We got
All
to
right.
turn it up,
I
man.
think we're doing pretty good here. I'm
This
going to
is
make it a little
too
bit more
scary.
difficult. What about this one?
Too much value on this table.
This is
right
probably
now.
one of my favorite books in the
Oh,
whole
this
pile,
is
by the way.
first Hank Pym.
Nice.
There you go.
Tales to Astonish 27. These do not look like ants. Those guys have full arms. These are like mutated, freaky alien ants.
Okay, here we go. That's a pretty monster book that you're holding here. What about this one?
Oh, God. Okay, I've seen this before. Damn. Marvel Spotlight #5. First Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider.
How dope is that cover, man? It's one of the best covers of the Bronze Age for sure.
So nice. They made #1 almost identical.
I know, right? They're like, let's just do it again.
It looks quite nice, too.
First appearance of Ghosty. It's a really nice looking copy.
I mean, they
too.
had the
That's tough to
Cowboy
make, right?
Ghost Riders. You can't say that's technically...
That's
I
true.
was trying to be specific with my Johnny Blaze.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can trip you up here.
Try.
What's this one?
Can't do it. I bet I'll get this. Oh, this is Count Nefaria. This is the first Chris Claremont, like, ongoing after Giant Size X-Men. I call this the John's Comics for Kids issue because this was his, like, profile picture on YouTube and Instagram for the longest time before he
Shout
got
out
his
John.
own logo. Love that guy.
What comic is it?
It's X-Men 94.
Boom. It's a random one that everyone needs to know, but yeah. Like
Even I know this. Yeah, this is the first issue after Giant Size X-Men.
The whole run was going downhill. They were reprinting earlier issues. They did a Giant Size issue, introduced a new team, handed over the writing to Chris Claremont by issue 94, and then boom, changed history. All right, I'm going to hit you with another one that you should know very well, damn it. It's a weird one, but you should know it.
I'm already seeing it on the reverse side, if you will. 'Cause I was looking at the camera.
Yes,
Look at his play with words.
Hey, Flash number 139. This has to be the first Reverse Flash.
Eo Barthon, Professor Zoom Baby.
We talked about this on the list basically every single week.
Yo, I love this comic and 123. Those are like two of my favorite books of all time. They're so classic. I'm
Trying to grow my Flash knowledge, but it's a lot and it's complicated.
Yeah, you just gotta like go back in time and keep learning. Here you go. Look at this one. This was a cool one.
Ooh, first Daredevil, baby. Daredevil number 1.
Classic book. Did you see the 9/8?
Yeah,
I did.
Did you get to hold it?
Yes, yeah. Rob's 9. Did I hold it? I don't know. I saw it. I think I just pointed a lot at it.
It's pretty cool, yo.
That's cool. I'm really stoked for him.
fun-loving Foggy Nelson. I haven't actually looked at the cover of this
First
intensely
Karen
before.
Page, first Foggy Nelson, and yeah, first Daredevil.
Then you got Spidey crossover.
True.
Right there on the cover.
Boom. All right. Let me see here. Try this one out. What do you think about this one? What is it?
It's going to be like, it's that, but it's not that. It just looks a lot like that. This is Journey into Mystery 85. This is the first appearance of Loki.
Boom.
Yeah.
Thor's sworn enemy.
You're doing pretty
According to the
damn
cover.
good, Ryan. Here's another one.
This is literally my job.
This
It
one's
just
easy.
Doesn't make sense.
We just did an homage to this ourselves. Order Crashdown. Our 1 in 150 is an homage. Shout out Kevin McGuire, JLA artist, doing
Thank
an
you.
homage to this. First appearance of?
The Justice League of America on Brave and the Bold, number 28.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting to think about? Like the JLA was just a combination of characters because they weren't holding their own in their own title. And then they threw Starro on this cover and boom. Now we have a whole new superhero team forever.
I believe it's also the first cover appearance of Aquaman.
Is that right?
Ever.
Did not know that.
He was never on the Golden Age on the cover, and I think this is the first cover appearance of Aquaman.
So this next one, the last one in the pile, is really this is a nice looking copy, dude. I'm very excited to see what these all grade at. Well, maybe if the community wants us to, we'll clean these up, we'll get them graded, and when they do come back, we'll show you the results.
That'd be a cool sequel
But
episode.
I want to
this.
know if you know this comic book, Ryan.
Did you save the most challenging one for last?
What is this?
It's a weird one.
Oh, damn.
What book are you holding?
Fantastic Four, issue number 2. This is the first time. Yeah, it's the first Skrulls when they get changed into cows at the end.
Amazing comic fam. Ryan just freaking killed it. I'm proud of you, my brother. Now, let's actually discuss what it was like briefly finding these books at this collection upon entry, knowing that there's a lot of these that existed and that they were held there for years. There were stacks of runs on top of themselves without bags and boards on like 95% of these books, sitting there somehow untouched for decades. And we would see a Daredevil 300 and something, and Jeff would go, all right, that's at the top. So that would place DD1 somewhere over there. And I'd be like, all right, let's do it. And some of these shelves didn't even have backings to them. So Jeff's got his hand behind it so that I don't accidentally knock books in that may be a Daredevil 1. We're pulling them off very carefully to find a Daredevil 1. It was like that with all of these books.
Yeah, it really was. It was a hunt because as though the collection was pretty complete, but it wasn't fully complete. So you weren't sure what books were there, so you'd have to dig, right? So there wasn't a Daredevil 1. There was a Spidey 1, but there was no Hulk 1. There was no FF 1.
No Journey 83 either.
No Journey 83 or FF 5. I don't think there was a Avengers 1 either. So there was a lot of key books there, but you just didn't know until you started digging. And you had to dig carefully, like you said, because not only was it in these shelves, they were in there really snug. So you'd have to like carefully drag them out. It's almost like they were put in there and then the paper swole.
Yeah.
So that it would almost like get compacted in that from the pressure or from the growth of it in these little cubbies.
What was also funny is that we were searching through those rooms, obviously organized. Marvel was over here, DC was over here. They were sequential, you know? But then there were random stacks of comic books all throughout the house. And one of the stacks was labeled miscellaneous in the corner of one of the rooms. And we were going through Golden Age primarily the first time we were there. But I'm like, hey, while you're looking at that, I'm going to look at this random stack over here. And I found that ASM 1 just sitting in there. I even took a picture of it. It was a very fun feeling to like passively be going through books that are all unorganized to go, holy hell, that's an ASM 1.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was like. It was just like a random pile off to the side. So that's why, I haven't looked through this whole collection yet. So maybe there's hidden boxes with things in there. Maybe not. We'll know. And then as soon as we know, you guys will know.
If you want to directly support the show, help contribute to Comic Butch's eating schedule. He's on a diet, but we're definitely feeding him really good food over here. You want to contribute, join the mystery mail call, comictom101.com.
If you don't, who knows when Butch will get to eat again.
That's very true. I'm just kidding.
That's what he's implying here.
No. We actually don't feed Ryan.
That explains why Butch is so cranky, because he hasn't
He's on a diet, dude.
He's
He has
so
to have
aggressive
like
and
an
loud
automated
today.
feeder schedule.
Mike has on a diet. He's freaking huge.
Which is just
She's
ornery,
freaking
yo.
huge.
So join the community. You give me an excuse to send you comics every month. The box is $35 plus shipping, and we ship it in a box, legal flat rate envelope with care so it's protected. We have a Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones issue number 1 Ariel Diaz trade dress going on in every single box. We also have a Maleficent, Disney Villains issue number 1 just came out. Johnny Desjardins, classic, an instant classic cover. We have versions of that going out at random. You're guaranteed both of those books. Which versions will be random, and we have some other stuff up our sleeves, surprises that we're going to be bringing to you. And you can follow me on ComicTom101 on Instagram to kind of get a peek behind the curtain. Jeff, you were featured in a documentary that looks captivating, and I was feeling a lot of deja vu a little bit. Like this collection that we got was very special. 350,000 comic books with a lot of gold and amazing keys, clearly. But there was another collection find that was kind of rediscovered by the family who inherited them. And there's a movie that was created around it. And you were brought in as well as a lot of leaders of the industry. And I'm hoping you can share what this documentary is about and your involvement.
Yeah, so this is the title of the movie is going to be Selling Superman. Okay, it should be coming out sometime mid 2024 allegedly. Go check out sellingsuperman.com. They have a couple sizzle reels there, an explanation about what it's about, and then a second one discussing a label, because they were able to get their own label for the first time ever.
Custom label through CGC
Custom label.
Because there's a giant collection here that we're talking about.
Yeah, Provenance, and we'll get more into that. So I met the inherited owner of this book at a convention.
The collection.
Yeah, of the collection, excuse me. So we got into details. He started to expressing to me what's the whole story and the amount and what's in it and everything that's encompassing in this collection. And it was an amazing tale because it talks about mental health. It talks about the struggles of a family. It talks about where they began, where they're ending with it, and what their journey has been like. So this is a tale of a father who amassed this collection into a home, a family home. And this is about 300,000 comics. So imagine boxes everywhere in rooms that the family was not allowed to be in. Okay, you have a family living in a house, and you don't ever get to see these comic books because it's the father's only. And it led to such turmoil in the family because he was a very bright man. Okay, but he had his issues. All right, he had Asperger's, so. Instead of that being something he dealt with, it was more something that he
kind of treated comics with a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of went undiagnosed. He didn't want to address it. He just wanted to live with it. So that affected his ability and his living style, which overflowed into the family, which ultimately led to the divorce between him and his wife. And again, it was something that they didn't love. They hated it, in fact, because it tore apart a family. But now that he's passed away, it's become something they're finally getting to see and enjoy as a family, and it's now bringing the family back together because now they're trying to realize, what do we do with this? We have 350,000 comics. We have no idea what's in there. And in there is some absolutely amazing pieces.
My father got the first solo issue of Superman from 1939. It was locked away for decades. He found out that was the second nicest copy of that book on the planet. That book could easily go for $3 to $4 million.
Well, what's something that was very intriguing about the trailer is that the wife said that it resulted in a divorce, and the son said had he not inherited these comics, the wife probably would have just thrown them away.
If I wasn't around, there would be a big dumpster outside and she would just own them. Actually, she'd recycle them.
And then he like doubles back and says, actually, she would have recycled them. That's how much disdain there was as far as how this negatively impacted the family and the lack of, I guess, willingness to address the mental health issues that this gentleman was enduring. But the comics are crazy. It's like that. It's like keep it behind the torpedo vault kind of comics.
Yeah, and it's not so much even about their value, okay? Because for the family's well off already. And right now they're trying to flip this around and having it, instead of it being something that destroyed a family, they're trying to find ways to bring these books to the community and to the right people. And don't get me wrong, there's still financial benefits to it here and there for them. But it's not about that. I mean, it's very interesting. When you listen to Darren, who's the gentleman who's leading up the collection, who inherited for the most part for the family, go check him out. Check out some YouTube. Comics in Chaos. We had One True New York King and Rage Steel put out they had an interview with him. So go check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, they're actually going to be helping sell the collection. And we just did an interview with them about CRASHDOWN recently. You can go find them on YouTube.
Yeah, and the reason they chose those two is not because they're the best people to sell this collection online, because they'll be selling it on Instagram here. It's because of the story that they both shared. All right, they both have an emotional story that comics brought into their lives. And so they connected through that. And so now they are in this position where they're going to help them sell these books.
That's really cool.
There's so much to this story and this family that I encourage you to go look it up and really start Googling. Check out sellingsuperman.com. Check out YouTube. There's been a lot of great interviews. It's super touching. I'm really excited for it because I do think it's going to be something really captivating for people, because it goes from the story is going to be a full circle of trauma to resolution to possibly a happy ending, and that's what we want.
So you were actually invited to be part of the documentary, and I've seen some clips of it. I'm hoping you could give the community a little bit of insight of what you discussed, maybe give them a little bit of a preview about what maybe isn't available in the documentary just yet. Like, where did you play a role in all this? Because I only know of one book that has actually sold from this collection. It was a Batman 1 graded at an 8.0.
Yeah, so the Batman one, like you mentioned, was an 8.0. It had I believe it was the first book ever sold with the new label, the Fantast label. And the Fantast label, when you look at it, there's a lot going on, but it tells the whole story and tale about what the family had to endure and all the parties that played in that journey.
Yeah, you mentioned pedigree versus
provenance.
Good time to explain the difference, because a lot of people didn't know pedigrees when we talked about it last.
So pedigree is a collection that was amassed by an original owner off the shelves or when the books came out, okay? And usually it entails books of extremely high grade and importance in the collectible. As for provenance, it's a collection that was assembled by a person of all, doesn't have to be all errors, but it was more assembled together, not something they bought off the stands. And that's what this is. And they've had provenance around. They've given collections names like Nicolas Cage and, others. But this is the first time anything has ever been assigned its own label. And so now it is called the Fantast, they named it. And Fantast is a very special word that is related to the father who owned these. And I forget what the direct definition is, but there is a correlation of why they use that. Well, again, go check out sellingsuperman.com because it explains the whole thing to you there. So for these books, like we mentioned, they have their own label, and we're actually going to get our own label for this collection that we're dropping.
I was just going to ask about that. Yeah, it sounds like something you guys would get a provenance for.
Yeah, and we would be the second. I just got to wrap up this label, and which is kind of exciting because I didn't see that coming. But anyways, back to this collection.
So yeah, why'd they rope you in? Because obviously you're a golden age specialist. Did they ask you about any gold? What was your expertise as far as what did they seek from you as far as information is regards.
Well, that's exactly it. They wanted to get another perspective of somebody who's in the industry who can really discuss these books, because they didn't really know the books. They don't know the history of everything. Okay, this is just dropped in their lap. Okay, so I'm there to help shed some light to the hobby and to the history of comics and really go through it and see what's there.
Did you get a vibe that they already knew and had a plan of what they were going to do with these comics, or were they just kind of taking it all in?
No, they're taking
advice?
it all in. I think step by step. I think every day was a learning experience for them as they go through this.
Wow, so they knew that this was something special, and they're like, just turn the cameras on. We got to get a director here, document the process as they figure it out.
Yeah, so the actual director went to high school with the owner of the collection now, and he just kind of brought it up, and then there was this push to like, oh, we should tell the story about this because of what the tale is. It's pretty, like I said, captivating and intriguing. And so they started to film, and it's just coming together, and it's just growing, and it's just snowballing into this big thing that's involving so many people now in the industry, and who are all very excited to be a part of it.
What specifically did you see, and what specifically did you talk about?
I saw Superman 1 7.0, which at the time was the second highest graded. It was a 7.0 and I believe 2 8.0s. But within this short amount of like 9 months to a year, one of those 8.0s sold for, I think it was like $5 million. And I believe it was even almost privately, but it might have been recorded now, and was upgraded to an 8.5.
Wow.
So now it is the third highest graded, whatever. So it's at least a $3 to $4 million book probably in this market. And there's that question they're asking is, selling Superman is, what would you do with this book? That's the point of it. You have this amazing book they had no idea the father had, but now it's in this collection. So that's the question, and what it is. What would you do?
Because the father didn't sell it, so he already made his decision, right? He died with it. And then the family has to kick that question around. Did they ask you?
They asked me specifically.
What did you say?
I mean, I kind of took it a little analytical. I was like, if you don't need to sell it, I probably would not sell it.
Don't sell it now, right? If anything, don't sell it right now when the market's low.
I mean, for books like that, the market isn't
right. There's no.
be low.
Okay,
There
that's
isn't.
true.
It's one of those market-proof books. You know? So for me, I was just like, listen, if you're not in a situation where you have to sell this book, do not sell this book. There's so many other books for you to sell here. You know, you have 300,000+ books. You might as well focus on those and, keep this thing. I mean, hand it down. It's a piece of your life. It's a piece of
American history.
American history, exactly. 1939, Spider-Man's first solo title
Is in 63.
I see what you did there.
Or 62. Was ASM 1 is 62, right?
Right. Jeff said Spider-Man. Yeah.
You said Spider-Man.
Oh, I said Spider-Man?
Superman.
Superman. 1939, first solo at his title, okay? Super tough book. Far more rare than that Batman 1 that they just sold on Heritage. It was an 8.0, and it sold for just a little over $1.1 million. So I got to see both those books. They had an entire vault of books. I mean, it was unbelievable. And there's 3 massive storage containers, multiple levels of security. I mean, this is not only a storage facility, but it's also like a full operation, because now they're going through boxes upon boxes. And guess what? They are not organized. Nothing is organized. All right, you will be in a box with bronze, silver, gold, repeatedly you just don't know. You have to literally go through every single box, and you will pull out some treasure book and some nonsense book right next to it. So it's very interesting. It's a ton of work, and stick around for the journey, because there's going to be updates, and it's really going to be fun. I think it's going to be really good.
I want to know from you, Ryan, if you had a Superman #1 just come out because of you inherited one. Someone gifted it to you. And Jeff said, if you don't need it, you probably shouldn't sell it. What would you do?
I would sell it only because I cannot be trusted to hang on to anything that valuable. Something would happen. My house would get hit by a meteor or get rolled over by the world's largest bulldozer, or some terrible bad thing would happen, and it would, break or get damaged. I don't trust myself. I wouldn't want to, it belongs in a museum, as greater people than me have said.
And you're not the only one. A lot of people feel very uncomfortable owning expensive things. And that's true. I mean, that's a very, very expensive single item to own.
Most people end up just doing a lockbox at a bank.
I think that book crosses over the value, the border into like priceless kind of territory. That's like, I don't even want to like look at that thing. It's too important to, history, really.
It's more about the grade as well for me on this one. Like, that's really impressive. But Superman 1 has never been a comic I've been like super excited about. But it's very significant, especially how old it is.
Yeah, and it reprints Action Comics 1, so it isn't like a full original story. So, but again, extremely tough book, nonetheless.
Okay, new question. If you had to sell it,
Yeah.
and you had to, the only caveat to selling is you have to sell it, and you got to put the $3 or $4 million into another couple or single comic book, what would the comic be? You have $3 to $4 million. You have to spend it. You're taking the Superman 1. Don't say you'll buy a couple lower grade Superman ones.
No, I mean, I'm looking for a Tech 27, Marvel Comics 1, and probably a Cap 1. Those are my 3.
What are your 3?
And a Suspense 3, by the way.
Suspense 3.
And Fantastic 3. I can keep going.
What about you, Ryan? Anything off the cuff? You have to buy it. Any Golden Age book.
I don't have grails. Not really. I'm trying to get every Green Lantern book.
I'm going to take the money from you. You have to pick something.
Well, then I'll use it to fund my pull list for and forever. I'm a modern kid. Give me my current modern pull list stuff.
Ryan
Give me $3 million of
comics
credit
for life.
at my LCS. Give it to Russ.
Russ is going to manage
But it has to go to the shop, Russ. You can't just take the money because I know you.
What would you spend $3 to $4 million on Comic Fam? I got one more plug for you. This is not a sponsored plug, but our homie Kix, his name is Sal. You know him as Kixstradamus, the celebrity custom artist. He's doing a really fun, like, original piece of art, and all you have to do is join his newsletter via his website. I'm gonna put the link to that in the description. He's also like auctioning off, if you're into like sneakers and stuff, custom art on sneakers. He's done that for not just like major NBA players, but as well as the cast of The Boys.
I had no idea you did the Cast of the Boys.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that got like their own like Homelander style shoes, the Deep style shoes, like to the actors,
Oh,
they all follow him on Insta. It's pretty cool.
Do they? I mean, dude, I don't know if I've met many other people who hustle as hard as that guy does. He works so hard. I just got a custom one of one Funko Pop from him.
Follow Kix on Instagram. I'll put his link in the description, but go join his newsletter as well. We're going to leave you with 2 really fun things. We've graded 2 books from the collection. They happen to be here. Ryan's going to get them handed to him right now.
I thought we were about to get out of here.
And
but
reveal it. And while you are listening to Ryan's reaction as it happens, hit the like, slap the subscribe button, go and give us a rating on whatever platform you watch us on or listen to us, like on iTunes. That goes a long way. Ryan, what are you holding?
Hey, okay. My favorite character in comics. We got Incredible Hulk 180. First appearance of Wolverine.
It says it on the CGC label, damn it.
In cameo on last page. First appearance of Wolverine, though, is all I need to hear. I hate that I'm getting roped. Is it a 9.6? I'm just now noticing the grade on this thing as I'm going off on my Wolverine tangent yet again. That's the power of this stupid debate. I hate it.
All right. There is a beautiful copy, Jeff. Hot damn.
Ooh.
And then what's this one?
Another 9.6. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 129. The first Punisher. Frank Castle, baby. And the Jackal. Can't forget the Jackal.
I think he literally got every single book.
Well, these have very handy little cheat sheets.
You
would
would
have
got it.
But
Really?
I would have known these two.
Done. That's podcast number 73. Damn it. We appreciate your time today, as always.
Geek responsibly.
Enough?
Said. Oh my gosh, I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It was so damn good. Wow. I really wish James Gunn wasn't leaving the MCU. It's already left. The movie was filmed a while ago. That movie's great. You gotta go watch this movie. We have other videos for you to check out. That movie was so sad. I was like tearing up the whole time. We have other videos. I told you that. Whatnot this week. We're gonna be on there. Link in the description. Freaking Rocket Raccoon, dude. That shit was so good. I'll see you soon. The podcast is back. I'm emotional.